Mr. Speaker, it's an honour to stand and support the second reading of the Television New Zealand Amendment Bill. It's an honour, sir, because this is a monumental piece of legislation that is about repealing a charter that is not working, repealing a charter and freeing Television New Zealand up to avoid the dual mandate, the sort of disparate sort of purposes, cross purposes that it currently is focused on. Sir, National is committed to public broadcasting. It is through $231 million invested in public broadcasting across not just television but radio and other forms of media. Sir, it's committed to television through New Zealand On Air funding, which is over $80 million, sir, of New Zealand On Air funding, which allows for television programs to be made across a number of channels. Sir, it's committed to public broadcasting in the television space through the Platinum Fund, $15 million, sir, per year, available for local production companies and various providers of content to bid for. Sir, this is about wanting the best for New Zealand viewers, wanting the best for Television New Zealand to be a successful commercial broadcaster operating across the various media. Sir, there are two basic purposes to this statute, and the last speaker talked about the focus on more generic statutory requirements, yet did not mention once what those statutory requirements were, sir. Instead, she asked the question of the Minister as to what National were doing. But I put it back to Labor. I put it back to the opposition who spent 9 years in government. I put it back to you as to how they are going to fund their ambitions for public broadcasting. How, sir, in this economic climate, during this global economic recession, they are going to fund the types of broadcasting platforms that they have been advocating for, because this type of funding does not grow on trees, sir. Sir, it also enables the screening of pre-1989 TVNZ archive works, and it's really important here, sir, that a lot of those works are released for public consumption, and they're seen, and thankfully most parties around the Commerce Select Committee table actually agreed that those works should be released. The relevant rights owners should be compensated in some form, and that rescreening should at least be free for those programs to be released for publication. Sir, Section 12, I just want to mention briefly, of the Act actually provides for TV New Zealand to be a successful national television and digital media company, serving on a choice of different platforms and maintaining commercial performance. Sir, because, as I said, the dual mandate most people would accept has not worked. It has not worked because, as on one hand they're trying to satisfy the requirements of a charter, while on the other, TV New Zealand is competing with a number of other media companies, not just in television, but now across a number of other media platforms. They're competing on a commercial basis, and they actually need to compete with high quality content, sir. And the other functions that are stipulated in Section 12 is that TV New Zealand provide high quality content that is relevant and enjoyed and valued by New Zealand audiences. And you can see by that stipulation that there could be a conflict with the Charter, in that it is about providing content that consumers are prepared to watch, that advertisers are prepared to pay valuable advertising dollars to put on the screens to support the content. And it's also about encompassing New Zealand international content and reflecting Māori perspectives, which I think in the Select Committee we all agreed with. So as you can see, sir, the section actually is quite narrow. It allows for TV New Zealand to focus on its commercial purpose, but also, sir, what was stated across the aisle by the previous speaker was that that public broadcasting is not effective. And it is, sir. TV New Zealand are the winners of numbers of awards, not just for news content, for sport, but also a number of awards for the content that they produce on a daily basis. So, sir, the Platinum Fund, as I've already stated, has been put in place in order to attract programs that will deliver high-quality content, and they, of course, include current affairs shows like Q&A, Billy, which is a docudrama detailing the life of one of our best comedians, Billy T. James, as well as other documentary series like Wild Coast. So through that contestable fund, producers are able to they're able to get funding for the production of local content which is of high quality, which importantly, sir, local people want to watch. So, sir, this is a bill that I support. It's a bill that the government has put forward in order to move Television New Zealand into the next century. It is a move that, in terms of digitalisation of TV, we await that with great zeal, and this bill certainly facilitates the movement of TV New Zealand into the future, and I support this bill. Thank you.
Honourable Leanne Dalziel.
Mr. Speaker, good television needs